Hey, book lovers! Welcome back to Stories by Unholy Whispers, where we dive into tales that spark the imagination. Tonight, we're exploring a mysterious library where books hold more than just words. They whisper secrets about their readers, and some secrets are too dangerous to return. If you enjoy this eerie tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more spooky stories. Let's step into the shadows of the library after dark. The library stood at the edge of Willow Creek, its stone facade crumbling under the weight of time. By day, it was a quiet haven for students and retirees, its shelves lined with novels, histories, and forgotten poetry. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the library transformed. The air grew thick, the lights flickered, and the books, those silent sentinels, began to murmur. Clara, the new librarian, had heard the rumors from the townsfolk. "Don't stay past closing," they warned. "The books talk, and they don't always let you leave." She dismissed it as small-town superstition, but on her first late shift, she felt the weight of unseen eyes watching her every move. Clara was methodical, her auburn hair tied back as she sorted returns under the dim glow of a brass lamp. The clock struck midnight, and the library's silence shattered. A faint whisper, like wind through dry leaves, slithered from the stacks. She froze, her hand hovering over a worn copy of Wuthering Heights. The sound wasn't coming from the vents or the creaking floorboards. It came from the book itself. "Clara!" It hissed, her name curling like smoke. She dropped the book, heart pounding, and it fell open to a page marked with her own handwriting, though she'd never touched it before. The whispers grew, a chorus of voices weaving through the shelves. Clara stumbled back, knocking over a cart of unsorted novels. Each book she passed seemed to call out, not with words on pages, but with secrets, her secrets. A biography of Churchill muttered about the time she'd lied to her mother about her grades. A dog-eared romance novel giggled about her teenage crush on a boy who never noticed her. She clapped her hands over her ears, but the voices burrowed into her mind, relentless. "How do you know that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The library didn't answer, just watched. In the mystery section, a tattered Agatha Christie novel beckoned. Against her better judgment, Clara picked it up. The pages flipped on their own, revealing not a story, but a memory. Her father's funeral, the one she'd skipped to avoid the grief. The words described her guilt in vivid detail, as if the book had been there, watching her cry alone in her dorm room. She slammed it shut, but the whispers grew louder, now chanting names. Other readers, she realized. The books weren't just talking about her. They held the secrets of everyone who'd ever borrowed them. Desperate for answers, Clara ventured deeper into the library, toward the restricted section. A locked room no one had entered in years. The key, heavy and rusted, hung behind the desk. As she turned it in the lock, the whispers crescendoed into a wail. Inside, the air was colder, the shelves lined with ancient tomes bound in leather that looked disturbingly like skin. One book, larger than the rest, pulsed with a faint glow. Its title, etched in gold, read The Ledger of Souls. Clara's hands shook as she opened it, and the pages burned her fingers, not with heat, but with knowledge. The ledger wasn't a story. It was a catalog, each page listing a reader's name alongside their darkest secrets. Clara found her own name, her life laid bare. Every lie, every regret, every moment she'd buried. But there were others, hundreds of names, some crossed out in red ink. Beside those names were dates of death, all within days of their last visit to the library. Her breath hitched. The books didn't just whisper secrets. They kept them, and some readers never left because the library wouldn't let them. A shadow moved behind her, and Clara spun around. No one was there, but a book slid off the shelf, landing open at her feet. It was a children's book, brightly illustrated, yet its pages dripped with a black, inky substance. The words twisted into a warning. Return what you borrow, or stay forever. Clara's stomach churned. She hadn't borrowed anything tonight, but the library didn't seem to care. The whispers grew into screams, accusing her of theft. Not of books, but of secrets she'd read in the ledger. Clara ran, her footsteps echoing in the cavernous library. The shelves seemed to shift, forming a maze that hadn't been there before. Books fell around her, their pages fluttering like wings, each one shouting a secret from someone in Willow Creek. The mayor's embezzlement, the baker's affair, the schoolteacher's hidden addiction. They poured out in a cacophony. Clara clutched the ledger to her chest, unsure why she hadn't dropped it. Maybe it was the only way to understand how to escape. At the front desk, she found a note she hadn't noticed before, scrawled in elegant script. To leave, you must give a secret the library doesn't know. Clara's mind raced. Every secret she had was already in the ledger. She thought of inventing one, but the books hissed, sensing her deceit. Then it hit her, the library itself. She opened the ledger and spoke aloud, her voice steady despite her fear. The library keeps the souls of its readers, trapped in its pages, to feed its endless hunger for secrets. The whispers stopped. The air grew still. Clara held her breath, waiting for the library to react. A low groan echoed, like the building itself was exhaling. The shelves parted, revealing the front door, now unlocked. She clutched the ledger tighter and ran, not daring to look back. The cold night air hit her face as she stumbled outside, the library's lights flickering behind her. She didn't stop running until she reached her apartment, where she hid the ledger under her bed. The next morning, Clara returned to the library, expecting it to be different. Silent, perhaps, but it was the same, quiet, dusty, ordinary. The books sat innocently on their shelves. No whispers, no movement. She avoided the restricted section, but the key was gone from its hook. Days passed, and she began to doubt her memory. Had it been a dream? But at night, alone, she'd open the ledger and see new names added, secrets still being collected. Weeks later, a regular patron, Mr. Hensley, stopped coming. Clara found his name in the ledger, crossed out in red. His death reported in the local paper the next day. She wanted to burn the book, but it wouldn't catch fire. She tried to throw it away, but it reappeared under her bed. The library had let her leave, but it hadn't let her go. She was its keeper now, bound to the ledger and its secrets. Clara quit her job, but the library's pull was relentless. She'd dream of its shelves, hear its whispers in the wind. One night, unable to resist, she returned. The library was waiting, its doors open, its lights dim. She stepped inside, and the whispers greeted her like an old friend. "Clara," they sang, "you never returned what you borrowed." She looked at the ledger in her hands, its pages heavier now, and realized the truth. She hadn't escaped. She'd only been given time to collect more secrets for the library. Now Clara works the late shift every night. She doesn't lock the doors anymore. The books whisper, and she listens, adding names to the ledger. Some readers leave, unaware of the secrets they've left behind. Others don't. The library grows, its shelves stretching into the shadows, hungry for more. And Clara, bound by a secret she can never return, wonders if her name will one day be crossed out in red. Wow, what a chilling tale! If you loved diving into the secrets of the library after dark, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow bookworms. Subscribe for more stories that keep you up at night, and let me know in the comments. Would you dare stay in that library after dark? Until next time, keep reading, but maybe check the pages for whispers. Good night and sweet dreams.